Welcome to the new season, Volume 2 of Crown Level Confidence Podcast. I'm Kalia Janae, your dedicated host. I'm a wife, mom, entrepreneur, certified life coach, and motivational speaker. I've got a background in humanities, communication, and I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. This podcast is your go-to source for empowerment and to inspire your journey toward unshakable confidence and fortified self-belief. In this volume, I'm bringing you fresh conversations and uplifting stories from incredible individuals who have overcome many obstacles in their lives and still achieved greatness. Get ready to elevate your mindset, embrace your power, and shine like the star you are. Let's embark on this journey together and straighten up your crown. Let's jump right in. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this newest episode of Crown Level Confidence Podcast. I am your host, Kalia Janae, and I am so excited to have this conversation with you. You know, here at Crown Level Confidence, our goal is to lead women worldwide to lower their stress and raise their levels of confidence in their lives. Y'all, I have, of course, a phenomenal and amazing woman here with me, and her name is Tasha. Tasha, say hey.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well today, my dear. How are you?
I am great. Thank you for asking.
Absolutely. Y'all, Tasha Daniels, she's gorgeous. She is a wonderful woman, a woman of faith. And, you know, she's so inspiring watching her social media journey. So I'm not going to get in the way here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my new friend here. And then, you know, we're going to have an amazing conversation. So, you know, Tasha is a dedicated mother who successfully rebounded from a period in a shelter with her children, all while juggling multiple part-time jobs to make ends meet, right? We do that. Today, she is the owner of 2 businesses that play a pivotal role in uplifting the community. So, I mean, doesn't that leave you wanting to know more? Like, who is this amazing woman? Clearly, she's been through some things, haven't we all? But she did not let it stop her, not let it define her or, you know, stifle her journey. So without any further ado, Tasha, welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
Yeah. So, you know, bring us into who you are, Tasha. I have like, you know, this little teaser blurb about you, but, you know, I want the listeners or anyone who comes across this episode to really leave with the understanding of who you are, what God wants you to share, because I know you have an amazing message. I know that even just so far to date with your and I mean this in the most positive way possible, limited time on earth, because you're not like the oldest.
Right. And I understand that. Listen.
You're not old, okay? So with the limited time you've already been here, you've already been through so much, you've overcome so much, and right. I commend you just in advance, because a lot of people sometimes they allow themselves to stay stuck, and you didn't do that. Right. So kind of let us know, you know, how are you feeling? What is it like being a mom, a serial entrepreneur? You've got different things going on, and inside and out. Kind of bring us into how you're feeling.
So how I'm feeling is I'm happy where I'm at right now. I've reached a place of peace. A place in my personal life. I've reached a place of peace. I'm now finding balance with mom and business or whatnot. But where I'm at now is peace. Like, it's us, we chilling, we hanging out, we just making the best of every situation. Of course, like I said, you said we've overcome a lot of things. And fortunately for me, and this is what I tell a lot of women that I talk to, when your kids are young like that, they don't remember. So now I have the chance, I'm in the phase of rewriting their childhood. You know what I mean? So now it's like, they have little blurbs here and there. And then like, of course, you know, whatever, but it's not like they're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened when they're 20, 30 years old, because they're not really going to remember that point. So they now know the phenomenal woman that you see sitting here before you today. Yes. When we were going through everything, I was like, God, let us get through this, and I will do whatever you lead me to do. But we're not coming back to this point.
Yeah.
We're not going to be back here in another few years. And I put that out there in the atmosphere, and it's come back to me tenfold. It honestly has.
Wow. So, I mean, obviously you've got these beautiful children looking up to you, but I know for a fact there's more to it. So kind of bring us into your motivation, like how, because like I said, some people, and I'll say it again, they allow themselves to stay stuck, but you didn't. So you had to have something inside of you whether it was, I don't know, something someone told you before, something you were born with. I don't know. I want to know. What was it? What was your motivation? Like, how did you come out of that? Like, you're here now.
I'm a super optimistic person. And during the time that we were going through the stuff that we were going through, of course, I had like my doubts and my times when I were down. Of course, I didn't want to be places where I wasn't wanted or my children weren't wanted. So I literally was just like in my head, I was just like, I know I'm going to get out of this, but I didn't know how I was going to get out of it. And then eventually, like, everything happens for a reason. It's all a part of God's plan. Like, with us being in the shelter, I wasn't allowed to, or not allowed, but I wasn't able to go get my hair done. So with that being said, I just started making my own products. And then when I was out of that phase of being in the shelter and not having like stability, when I got out of that phase, I went to go get my hair done. And the lady was like, your hair is so clean, and it's so this, and your coils are that, and your this is that. You know, she was just like hyping it up. And I was like, well, I just make my own stuff and I use it. And literally from that point on, things have just fallen in my lap to just continue to go on. So my inner motivation comes from God, and just like listening to, like, putting out there what it is that I want, and then listening to what he tells me to do next to get to that point. And I just know that I can't give up. Like, I don't have that in me, because I know, like, I literally used to have dreams about operating 2 businesses, but in those dreams, it was never what the businesses were going to be. But now I'm living in it, and I'm like, oh my God, like, we doing this. Like, we really doing
Right.
this. Like, it's happening.
Right.
It's happening. So my motivation was those moments in time where I knew I wanted to get out, but didn't know how. And now I've been placed into literally the things that I'm doing right now is not something that I sat down and planned out to do. It's just natural things that came to me, or things that came to me because of a situation, and I grew on top of it.
Yeah.
So never giving up is literally like, I need that on a coffee mug, on a t-shirt or something, because when I tell you, that's literally what it is.
Wow. Yeah. And so, you know, here in the CLC community, we talk a lot about mindset. Clearly, we talk about confidence. That's like in the name. But, you know, a lot of times it comes up, I wouldn't say pretty much in every episode, really. There's different levels and categories to confidence. Right. So you're, you know, specifically in your situation, you're balancing the category of like, I've got to be mommy to these babies, right? I'm providing, so I've got to have some kind of business savvy, you know. Then you've got whatever friendships or family, you know, I say family outside of your, you know, your kids, your nucleus. So kind of explain, if you can, or share what those different, I always call it like a roller coaster, because look, like, sometimes I'm a crown level in the mirror, and sometimes I'm like bottom basement level in my mommy journey, you know, but we keep going, right?
We keep going. So you have to.
How, if you can, right? Because y'all know this show is unscripted. So she doesn't know I'm asking her this. But if you can kind of share with us, because someone's listening, right? And someone, I'm listening. Okay. I've got multiple businesses. I've got some babies, you know, of my own. So kind of share with us what that is like as you're navigating, trying to harmonize these different categories and working through these different levels, because, you know, it is a journey, right?
It is. And you want to know what? I haven't figured that out yet. And I'm going to just be honest. I haven't figured that out yet. I am juggling these 3 things. My life is based off of about 3 different calendars right now. So before I agree to one thing, I now have to get used to checking across the board. Okay. You know, I admire you because you have an assistant. That's where I'm trying to get to. Like, when I saw an assistant send an email, I was like, this is what I need in my life. Like, and, you know, I saw something the other day, and it was like, you know, when you're a business owner, you focus on your business, your life, your household goes without. And when you focus on your household, your business goes without. So that's a genuine struggle. It really is. And anyone who's around on a regular basis and comes in here, they're like, wait a minute, what's going on? I'm like, literally, I have been in meetings all day. Between meetings, I'm taking clients. You know what I mean? Like, and then you get done and you step away from the work and you look around and you're like, ooh, laundry hasn't been done all week.
A whole tornado happened. I had no idea.
I had no idea. Tunnel vision. But I'm getting to the point of balancing that. And that's one of the ways that on this journey, there's no blueprint, right? There's no one that has written out how you're going to be a mom and then how you're going to be a business owner. So with that being said, I'm figuring it out as I go. now that I'm to the point of looking around and seeing, hey, I haven't done all of these things, I'm outsourcing stuff in any way that I can. In any way that I can. So that's how I believe that is how you get to the point of harmonizing everything. The things that you can't take on, give to someone else who can and will and want to take it on, because I'm not that person. Like, I cannot handle every single thing all at once. I can't. So that's just where I'm at. And it's also, I think, finding peace in realizing that you're not able to do it all. It's okay to not do it all. And I speak with business owners quite often. I just had a meeting with one yesterday, and he was talking about his finances and how everything else in life is going good. And obviously he's making the finances, but he doesn't know where to put the money at. And I'm like, that's my job. Let me do that for you. You worry about what you need to worry about as a business owner. And it's like, dang, girl, you sitting here telling him to do that, and you're not even doing that in your own life. Now I got to follow my own advice. I need to pass these little nuggets off to other people who likes to do it. So that's how you make it all come together. Yeah. You're not supposed to be an octopus and handle 8 things at one time.
Exactly.
That's not what you're supposed to do.
It's not sustainable.
It's not, and it will run you in the ground. And when I tell you, I got to the point probably about a month ago. So I've been doing the full-time entrepreneurship for June was a year. And if you follow any of my other stuff, you'll probably see the things of how the full-time entrepreneurship ended up happening. It was a mistake. Well, not really, but anyway.
It was in plan.
Right. How it ended up happening, I was not I knew this is what I wanted to do, but this was not like, I didn't have a roadmap. We're just going to say that. I didn't have a roadmap.
Yeah. Wow. Speaking of maps, something that we haven't really addressed about your journey is you've gone through all of these different transitions amongst an extra challenge, which is relocating. So how was it for you? How was it for you, taking on all of this, reinventing yourself, building your family back up, and you're now in a new place, right? You maybe don't have some of the securities or some of the support or just some of the luxuries of being where were more comfortable, right? You're now outside your comfort zone doing all of this, because that's an extra challenge too.
It is.
Right? When you're out there.
Right, it is. So one thing I learned, and I thank God for the journey that I have been put on, even though it wasn't ideal and it definitely wasn't what I was searching for, because I feel as though every level and every employment I've had made me ready to do this. With that being said, a lot of the foundational things that I learned, like back when I was working, because I used to work for a corporate marketing firm, and a lot of the things that I learned was, for one, not to give up. I learned numbers. I learned law of average. It's just a lot of foundational things that I learned that prepared me to do this. So you may be working a job right now that you don't want to work, but at the end of the day, like, it's going to prepare you for a bigger journey. So don't just decide not to take this. Don't decide not to do it. It's going to prepare you down the road. Also, I didn't have to, it sounds like this is what you said, and if I misunderstood you, let me know. But it sounds like you have the thought that I moved my business from Florida to here.
No, that you relocated.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I definitely relocated. Okay, yeah. So I wanted to make sure we were on the same page. Okay, cool. No,
it's fine. But that's big, right? So, if for those who have followed me over the years, my husband and I are originally from Southern California. We're both born and raised in San Diego, and we got married, and within 6 months we said, you know what, we're out of here. And we moved across the country to Georgia, totally reinvented ourselves, just have done the whole thing. And so I get it, right? I didn't have kids, and I had my own challenges that were different from yours, but so I understand. But a lot of people, they may be thinking, oh, I want to have a new environment, or they're not even considering it an option, right? Because it's like, oh, what if I get out there and I fail? But you have to go for it, right? You won't know, and you definitely won't grow if you don't go. Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, we got that one.
Yeah, so that's what I mean in terms of that extra level, because plenty of people struggle where they're from, right?
Right.
But then you add a relocation on top of that, because now you're saying, don't let me put words in your mouth, but now you're like, do I go back? Can I go back? Was this a mistake? You're doing all these different things.
You know what's so funny though?
Yeah.
I feel as though, and I know I don't have the option to go back. Like at this point, no. Um, Fortunately, I've been put in a lot of positions where I've only been able to depend on myself.
Mm.
So it's like, with that being said, I don't have the want to go back. And then I also have the understanding that if I'm not uncomfortable, I'm not growing. So
Mm.
whenever I do begin to feel comfortable, I feel like, okay, we got to do something different because I just want to keep going. And I always had like the mindset for myself personally, to always every year, and this is just a personal goal I set for myself, every year I wanted to be in a better position than what I was the year before.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like setting personal realistic goals,
Mm-hmm.
not just
Mm-hmm.
setting those goals, but actively working towards those goals is what keeps you motivated. Because if you're always going through life like, oh, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get this, I'm going to achieve this, I'm going to achieve this, that's literally one of the things that keeps me going, because I know I'm constantly I'm going to achieve something bigger.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's never like, oh, I hit this, okay, I'm good.
Right. Yeah.
Like
I'm not,
even,
what?
right,
Yeah.
even with the stuff that I do, I have one state license. I'm now about to start studying for another state license. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna remain stagnant, because first of all, I don't want to pass that mentality on to my kids. I
Ooh.
want them to know that you need to, if you want anything out of this life, you need to work for it. And
Absolutely.
that's all they see me do is like literally work. Besides, doing stuff with them. Besides
Sure.
doing stuff, of course. But other than that, like I'm always like, I'm not a big, I heard someone say this, you don't see me because I'm not making money there.
Ooh.
I'm a very big, where I'm at in my journey when I do things, and it has to, I don't care if I go to lunch with a friend, I have to make a new contact with someone
Yeah.
that is going to contribute to my business. Like I don't,
Yeah. They say, if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense.
it don't. Not for me, it don't.
Sure. Yeah. I'm full of cliches and I love them because they're memorable and they're sometimes true.
Yeah, they are. They definitely are.
So, I know that you mentioned goals, and I'm highly passionate about realistic, achievable, timely goals. Definitely.
Yes, it's the realistic for me.
Right. So that was going to be my next point here for you to share, with the listeners, with all of us, really, being someone who is goal oriented, right? Who's got this mentality of, okay, I'm principled in progression. How do you determine your goals? How do you, set your goals, right? If that's what's motivating you, there are people listening right now who are there just like, goal is another G, like another 4-letter word, basically to them. But can you give us some context, or how do we get our minds prepared to have goals that we can actually achieve?
For one, it's the circle of people of which you hang around. The people that I talk to on a regular basis, they're not complacent in their lives at all. They're doing stuff that's going to help them get to somewhere new. So with that being said, that's one of them. For me, in my journey of doing it, how I map out my goals, obviously there's long term, which is stuff that I know I'm going to achieve further down the road. And then there's stuff that I'm going to achieve right now. Whereas, like, for example, with my hair business, what it is I'm going to get certifications in other services, and I'm going to expand in that way. And then I'm going to work on getting a studio or a shop space. It's just breaking it down. Your goals need to be bite-sized. You need to not only write them down, but like, how are you going to get there? You can say you're going to buy a house all day. You can say you're going to build a house all day. But if you don't know what your foundation to get to the house is going to be, you're never going to make it. It's just words at this point. So with that being said, it's not just about writing the goals. It's not just about it being realistic. It's about the plan to get there.
Right.
It's about being active in your goal setting. And I feel like, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to manifest this. I'm going to talk to God about this. But prayer without work is nothing.
Exactly.
You can pray to God all day and night, but if he don't see you working, you're never going to, if you don't do your part, no one's going to give you anything. So with that being said, that's just where I'm at on that. And that's how I do it. I do journal occasionally, so that helps with that. It does help hold me accountable for that. And then, like I said, the group of people I deal with on a regular basis is just amazing individuals who are also wanting more out of life.
Mm-hmm.
So that helps out when your circle is like, if you're hanging around people who just want to hang out and not do anything all day, then you're never going to get anywhere.
No, you'll stay stuck.
Yeah, you'll stay stuck. So you have to remove yourself. And just like yourself, I'm sure, well, I'm not going to say I'm sure, but I feel like you probably back home, you got your home girls that you can just not do anything with. And then you got your ones that when you move out of town, you can make some moves with. And that's really how it was. That's really how it was. Like people back home, and it's funny because you look at stuff now and you see them now and it's like, dude, you're still doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then ask me, I get asked a lot, how did I do it? I did it by doing it.
Right. I did it by doing it. Yes.
Like I did. Someone asked me, how did I move out of Florida? Like, what do you mean? There's no gates around Florida. You can get out. Like, they're not locking you in. You're not chained down. Like, do it.
Right. No, it's so true. And you know what? My role here, I'm the resident mindset coach, right? So for me, I hear things like that and I'm thinking, okay, as much as someone is willing to allow me, we need to stretch your thinking, right? Broaden your horizon. A lot of people have, like you mentioned, gates, they have invisible gates, right? They create these barriers that no one has said exist, but they exist in their minds. And so then they're very much real physically to them. Like it's unfathomable to relocate one state up, right? Or, let alone across the country or out of the country. It's a whole great big world out there and plenty of people to impact, plenty of work to be done. I always say, if you've got an idea to do something, like you're not an alien, you're not a singular species, like someone else thinks like you and someone else could benefit from what it is that you want to do. And you just have to have the wherewithal to follow through, right? The drive, to go after it and to just do it. Now, seeking professional assistance is key, right? Because you won't have all the answers. A mentor that you're willing to listen to and take that as a coach. You have to have some kind of professional guidance. Like, you didn't go to school for a trade or for a particular career. You've got to do some apprenticeship. You've got to do something, right? To get some education, formal or otherwise, but you got to make those moves, take those steps.
You do. And also, I do want to say this because I feel like there are a lot of people out here who have businesses and they want to have the mentorship. You don't always have to pay for mentorship. Mm-hmm. If you contact, it's like I'm going to just speak for Texas, for Houston, because I don't know about other places, so I'm going to speak for Houston. For Houston, there is a nonprofit called SCORE, and you can literally reach out to them. It's professionals who has been in the industry of business, just business, for however many years they were in there, and now they volunteer and they pay it back. They help people get to where they want to be. So you have to, like you said, you have to do what they tell you to do. You have to be willing to listen to them. Don't waste them folks' time.
Right. No.
You have to be able to, you have to be willing and open to listen. And I feel like, and I think that's why I feel you have the ability to get out of any situation once you start reaching out to other people. Mm-hmm. Like once you get past like yourself, move yourself out the way. And one of the mentors told me one time, it's imposter syndrome, where you feel like you're not good enough or you're not supposed to be in these spaces. You have to get rid of that. And I still deal with that now. Like even after some of the things, since I've had major publications, but it's like I still feel like, am I supposed to be here? Am I supposed to be doing this? And we were like, oh, you were featured in X, Y, and Z. I'm like, but still.
Yeah. Imposter syndrome is real.
It's real. So yeah, reach out. Like I said, the people that you surround yourself with, the people that you talk to on a regular basis. Like when I first started off doing this, like seriously, in June of last year, it was a friend of mine who is literally financially where I want to be in life. And I would just talk to him every day. And just like he would go over like all the plans that I currently have. He would really like break down stuff and explain to me how to do stuff, just basic stuff as a business owner that I didn't know I needed to do, like how to properly price out materials versus how much I'm making. It's just certain things I didn't know I needed to do. And he really helped me get to that point. So with that being said, don't be afraid to like reach out to other people. Like sometimes, and I don't want to say this in the wrong way, but sometimes you are your biggest obstacle. Like
say it. Yeah,
are your biggest obstacle. So don't be afraid to reach out to people who are doing better than you. I personally, I don't like being the smartest one in the room. I'm fine with someone knowing more than me because you can teach me, and I'm fine with learning. I'm so
Exactly.
okay with that. So I feel like we have to remove that mentality of I'm not supposed to be here or I'm not supposed to be doing this, and you'll get further.
Absolutely. So the time always flies by way so fast here in Crown Level Confidence. The conversations are just so amazing. So many jewels and gems in the crown that you have dropped here today for us and all the listeners. So we're at the point now in the episode where we are at the final word. So that's your main message. Everyone, their lunch break is wrapping up, or they parked, they're about to get out the car. What's the main message? It doesn't have to be like one word, just from your God-given wisdom to our ears, the thing that you want to leave us with, like, hey girl, listen, boom. What's your final word?
Don't give up. Don't give up. You're scrolling on social media all day. Jump over to Safari and search for the things that will help you get to the point of where you want to be. Search for those mentors. Search for do network marketing. Well, I think I said that wrong, but get out and meet people.
Network and market yourself.
Yes, that's where we'll go with that. Network and market yourself. When it comes to this stuff, you're not alone. There are so many people, when they see people who are trying to do something, they are willing to listen and they are willing to give you the direction of which you need to go. So don't give up and don't stay in your head.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, y'all heard it here first from Tasha Daniels. Tasha, thank you so much for your time. To be present with you is truly a gift, and your time, once you spend it, you never get reimbursed. Oh, thank you. I have enjoyed this conversation. I'm sure our listeners have too. Y'all, if you're in our Facebook group, or if you're not, you need to be. Crown Level Confidence between episodes. We post all kinds of stuff in that group. So not only can you give Tasha a shout out for her amazing words of wisdom, tell her something that you got, out of this conversation. If you have follow-up questions about her business, you want to click on her bio, her links, just get all up in what she knows and what she has to share. Do it in the group, y'all. Also, connect with her, support her. If you're whatever platform you're listening on, the episode description has all of her information on there. So don't hesitate to reach out. Now listen, if you do, and when you do, let her know that you heard her on Crown Level Confidence, and come correctly. Okay. We don't waste each other's time here. We are women of excellence and ambition, and we support one another as such. So y'all, thank you for listening. Stay tuned for some special announcements. And, I love y'all. And more importantly, I'm so grateful that you love me. All right. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Crown Level Confidence Podcast. I hope you found inspiration and valuable insights that will help you on your path to unstoppable confidence. Remember, you have the power within you to achieve greatness and transform your life. Stay connected by subscribing to the podcast and following us on social media. If you're interested in being a featured guest on the show and sharing your journey of confidence and self-belief, visit KaliaJanae.com to connect with me. I'd love to hear your thoughts and stories, and I'm always excited to meet and showcase remarkable individuals, so don't hesitate to reach out. For details on speaking engagements, mindset coaching, or having a workshop in your office, again, head over to my website, KaliaJanae.com. And don't forget to leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more listeners and inspire others to wear their crowns proudly. All right, y'all, keep shining. Keep believing and keep leveling up. Until next time, wear your crown with pride and confidence. Take care.